Welcome back everybody. In today's video we will be covering how to play 4 basic rhythm exercises. The first basic rhythm exercise that we are covering is our crash warm-up. So as you can see from on screen, there is one note every 8 counts for the next 9 bars. So there are 5 notes in total, starting and ending with a crash, with the 2 middle notes in between the 3 main notes being crash chokes. So it alternates between a crash and a crash choke every other note. So as you would play the exercise with cymbals, you would prep 1 count before the note itself, so that would be 4 of the bar before the notes. You would play the crash or crash choke on count 1. Then you would stay at the following position, whether it is a follow through for a crash or a choke position for a crash choke, and reset back to the orchestral or port positions depending on which type of crash you played on count 3 of that same bar. The next basic rhythm exercise is called executioner. For it, you will play a click once every 4.5 counts. So for example, you would start the first one on count 1, but on the following bar you would play the click on the and of 1. The bar after that you would play the click on count 2, etc., etc., as you are leading up to the and of 4. As you can see on screen, the bar that you would play on the and of 4 is bar 8. After the and of 4, you would immediately play a click on count 1. That would complete the cycle. This is mostly a foot timing exercise to make sure that you are able to play in between your feet on the upbeats or the and counts of a given exercise. The third rhythm exercise is an eighth note split. For it, we will divide the line into A's and B's. Again, A's will be one half of the cymbal line and B's will be the other half of the cymbal line. We would indicate that these notes are played by A's or B's in the actual lineup of the cymbals. The goal of the exercise is to test your ability to play your own note as other members of the cymbal line are playing their own note. And as you can see, the rhythm altogether will be 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3. A's would typically play just the downbeats, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Whereas the B's will play the upbeats. So those will be the and of 1, and of 2, and 1, and of 2, and then of course just all the and counts as you see them in the music right here. Just one thing to note, you would not play any faster than a quarter note interval between your actual notes. So even though the rhythm itself would be 8 notes, you are not playing anything faster than a quarter note. Next and final exercise that we will be covering today is our Sis Suck timings. For them, you would play 1 Sis Suck every other bar, with 2 Sis Sucks being of the same length. And for the first two, the Sis will begin on count 1, but the Suck would happen on count 4. So again, you would start playing the Sis on count 1 and extend your arm out until you reach your maximum on count 4. And then you would pull your right arm back towards the cymbals themselves so that you will get the vacuum. Then for the next set of Sis Sucks, the next 2, the Suck will happen on count 3. The 2 after that, the Suck will happen on count 2. And then the 2 Sis Sucks after that, the Sucks will happen on the and of 1. And as you can see, the Sis Sucks themselves are getting shorter and shorter the more and more the exercise goes on, all the way until you reach the 8th notes. And one more side note before I go. All of these exercises can be clapped rather than be played with cymbals. So like with the Sis Sucks, for example, you can clap the Sis and clap when the Suck happens for each of the bars. And with the other exercises, such as the executioner, you can clap each of those instead of playing a click. Other alternatives would be like for the crash exercise, instead of playing the crash itself, you could play a tap and play tap chokes as well if you have a pair of cymbals on you. Rather than playing clicks, maybe you can play hi-hats. And along with other modifications, you can also change the tempo if the exercises are too easy. So for example, instead of going at 120, you can go at 160, 180, or even 200 BPM. Because these are exercises, you can try out different things that might challenge you a little bit more. But in general, these are the only types of things that you can modify yourself in terms of music. Otherwise, you would never actually change like shows, for example. You can only change exercises, of which those are for you to practice on your own time. But of course, in an ensemble setting, you can't modify the music. But that is all for this video. Come back next time where we will be talking about attention and vibe. These are not inside the cymbal packet, but I still want to touch on these topics during the cymbal series. So please stay tuned for those.